Well, ladies and gentlemen, they say it's a first for everything tonight. Our first official stream hijack. The first 30 minutes of that race was absolutely mind-blowing. Nothing was working. Controls were taking off, doing their own things, and then they left their calling card in the chat. But we got everything corrected. Still working on getting everything stabilized in the background here, but I believe we've gotten rid of the intruder and should be good to go from here on out. We'll have audio coverage here momentarily. Currently joining back in at 105 laps of 200, live from Charlotte. As Dakota Camper continues to lead over Jeffrey Radke, Kevin Coleman, and Christopher Cash. That's going to round out the top five, and it looks like James Bush just slid into that fifth place position. We'll be back with audio coverage momentarily. Well, now, race fans, I can officially welcome you to Redline Racing Network for the SSIL Presents the Reaper Xfinity Series live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As Dakota Camper continues to lead over Jeffrey Radke, however, he is in close tow. That Supra is absolutely been on the money tonight, up one spot from where he started in that second place position, and in fact, he is closing in on Dakota Camper, who currently owns that top spot, carrying the torch around this 1.5 mile oval. Again, I want to apologize for the stream issues at the top of the broadcast as we were hijacked. The channel got whacked as well. A little bit of a mad panic here. We had to change some passwords, get access to the channel back, the whole 9 yards, but I think we are good to go. I want to shout out Eddie for giving us some feedback in the Discord, letting us know the stream looked good. So Eddie, thank you for that. So let's get on down to business now as we watch Jeffrey Radke here, eating hard on the bottom. He turns it down low, trying to get a run on the 2. He's going to have that momentum down the backstretch here. But the 2 is able to match and get the 3, or get the better of the 3 into the 3 and 4 complex, I should say. As Radke's going to have to get back in line here again and have to regroup. In fact, let's go on board with the driver of the 3. Now on board with Radke. The Mooresville man, this guy always has a plan here in prime time, I'm telling you. He doesn't have the fastest car to begin with. He will work on it. He will grind. He will find a way to always somehow put this car in the podium position, or if not win, as he continues to stalk the back of Dakota Camper. Again, now working lap 119 of 200, live here on Redline Racing Network. Oh, no, not again. It started saying Hawk to 500 last time. Let's not do this again. Perhaps that just got stuck. Well, you know what? We're just going to continue on with the show. Hopefully that's not an omen of things to come. But this is not the Hawk 2 of 500, I can promise you that. It's Reaper Xfinity Series action. You know what it is. So hopefully whatever gremlin that was does not decide to breach the network infrastructure again as we widen things back out for you guys at home. This has been an all-out slugfest, trench warfare style here at the front of this thing, between Camper and Radke. And these two fighting so hard. Here comes Kevin Coleman. Now, he's a little bit off the pace here. He's about 1.67 seconds back. However, last time by, he is slightly faster than the 2 leaders. Or the 2 battling for the lead, I should say. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Coleman having a great run here tonight. Well, we have a moment. Let's go ahead and pull up the official race information. Lord willing, this loads correctly. And it looks like this may be a generic SDK file, but that's okay. I can work with that. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the place, obviously, was Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then it turned into Lowe's Motor Speedway, fitting when Jimmy Johnson used to dominate this place. Then in more recent history, or recent years, it switched back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, which I think is the better name of the 2. Current track length is 1.45 miles. However, it's advertised as 1.50. Ambient air temperature 72 degrees. The nighttime is the right time. Going to turn that track temperature all the way down to 74 degrees. Nice and cool out there on the asphalt. And it looks like those elusive 2-mile-an-hour winds are back here once again. That'll be a non-factor in this race tonight. Go a little bit further back through the field here. Taking a look at Weston Vandercloak, or Clock, excuse me. He's up 8 positions from where he started, currently just inside the top 10. He's currently holds on to that 9th place position. This field pretty well spread out right now. We're trying to make the best here with timing and scoring, and we can. But hey, at least we figured this out. Was not going to let this race go without getting the broadcast up and running, so I appreciate everyone's patience here. Some great side-by-side ratings. We set it back up to the front, and look at it. Look who it is. Dakota Camper, Jeffrey Radke. These two are continuing to slug it out as they have a John Force special all-out affair going into the turns 1 and 2 complex. Radke continues to size up Camper, trying to be like the Intimidator of old, as he just lurks inches off the bumper of that Chevrolet Camaro, trying to get him to mirror drive, make a mistake. Oh, he opens the door there. Does Radke have the tires to turn it down to the bottom? He does. Is he able to maintain momentum? Side by side, literally at the start-finish line, they almost shake hands and door clock each other. Radke is going to come about a half lane up. That's going to force Camper almost to the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. In fact, he is there on the high side of the racetrack. Grandma's so fired up right now. She's standing up, shaking her life alert in the air right now. Colonel Free popcorn going everywhere as they're still side by side. Back, let's go on board here. I mean, take a look at that and the move, the pass. Oh, here comes the crossover. We're going to have to widen things back out again. Camper was ready for it. He's going to send it back in there on the bottom. Eating hard on the inside. Radke's going to go way, way up the hill. Oh, no, and here comes Charles Whitehead. He's going to act as a squeeze job. Holy good Lord Christmas. Whitehead did a great job there not getting involved in that, as that could have been ugly. Whitehead was trying to show a replay at the very top of this race. I don't know if you guys at home saw it or not, but there was a big-time crash where Charles Whitehead, he got set for an absolute ride. He took Tom Frieda's race car literally to the face as he was checking up for a wreck in front of him. He went into the safer barrier, took off X Games style. As it's been a rough go for Charles Whitehead tonight, but hey, he's still in there fighting the good fight. Great looking paint scheme on that race car as well on that Toyota, as he continues to plug away at it in that 8th place position here. Let's take it back to this battle up front. Is Radke doing what he does? You know, the longer you run, the better that 3 car is going to get. I mean, that is not a hypothesis. That is proven fact. He has done it time and time again. So now Radke leads. Dakota Camper currently owns that 2nd place position, as he's still within striking distance. Then you got to go back about 3.28 seconds to Kevin Coleman. I mean, he's basically out here by himself running qualifying laps. And I take that back. Dalton McKinney, Mr. Whip It Up. He's got that car turned up, and here he comes. Almost gets into the wall there, having a solid performance just outside the podium in that fourth place position. Some pit stops right now going underway. Here comes Charles Whitehead down pit road. Let's see what the call is here for Whitehead as we're working lap 134 to 200 here. Oh, he almost overslid the box. He's going to have to throw it in reverse. That's going to cost him some time. See the jack going up there. The man from Texas, he just dodged Hurricane Barrel. In fact, he might catch some remnant pieces of it, but Texas on high alert late last night, all day today, and in fact, they're inside a tornado outbreak right now as they've been getting some big-time tropical influence tornadoes all day today. So hopefully Charles Whitehead, the HMFIC of the league, Christopher Hubka, they're all doing well and safe as Whitehead completes his pit stop. Now gets that Tundra back up to speed, gets it in high gear there. And again, I know this is not the Hawk 205 Hyundai. That's some leftover remnants from what happened earlier. Just glad we have control of the channel back and the race back. This continues to be Radke. Camper is not letting him get away, though. He is just up on the wheel right now. You can see how hard he is driving that race car. In fact, let's go on board with the driver of the two. Again, currently about 0.3 of a second back, so that's going to be about 3.5 car lengths or so. Watching his wheel input there in the race car, that car is very balanced, especially coming off of four, but that car likes to get light and free at times. And he's getting as low on that white line as he possibly can get, taking the shortest way around here, but it's also indicative of a race car that's driving really well. As he is committed to just ripping the bottom around here. As the Reapers continue to do battle here in the first in flight state of North Carolina. We have some early exits from the race. Bryson Coolwell, who had a full-fledged affair with the safer barrier. That was a violent impact. Johnny Williams in the 16 also out. Want to give a shout out to Johnny, the Mississippi man. Tom Freitas, also, I believe, doing race control duty tonight. 32 retired from this race. Brandon Cooper also out. Samuel Lawson, he's been in the pits since lap 83, which leaves us 12 cars out there remaining in competition on the racetrack. And in P12, that's going to be Brandon Kelly in the 9. New look on that race car, and it is vibing. I'm digging the paint job on the 9 ride. Looks like a few moments ago here, Christopher Cash had a whoopsie. See if we can go ahead and call that back on the red line. Instant replay for you folks at home. See what happened to the myth, the man, the legend, 69-time himself. What went wrong for Christopher Cash here? Oh, he catches a piece of the fence. He's going to overcorrect it, catch it, starts to come back the other way. And does Whitehead absolutely put it where the sun don't shine? He does. He's going to clobber him. In the business end, that's going to be a 1-2 whack-a-mole. There goes Whitehead. Cash is back into an uncontrollable drift. He's going to send it through the grass. Stop and get some Bojangles while you're at it. If you've never had Bojangles, it's good to go. North Carolina thinking, oh, and Whitehead's going to get him again. Unbelievable. There it goes to the front of Whitehead's. Oh, the nose even lost the paint. Are you serious? We got to roll this back. I guess Whitehead didn't have enough. He wanted another piece. I'm just speculating, of course. I doubt Whitehead intentionally drove it back into him again. We're going to roll this back old school VHS style here. We're going to stop it here. And cue playback. And let's go on board here with Charles Whitehead. See how this all shook down from his perspective. Out there on the racetrack, you see Cash make contact with the wall in front of him. Whitehead thinks he's got it corrected. Then Cash is going to overcorrect, will come back up the racetrack. Whitehead is going to start to jump on the brakes, but it's too late, and boink! Pops Cash in the rooster. Whitehead goes down into the grass, has no control over his race car at this point. Going to do a little Evel Knievel stint there, catch some air. As he's eyeing up the exit cone, he's going to sneak by, and there comes Cash again. They have a Two Stooges moment, and that about ended for Whitehead and Christopher Cash as they actually, who says lightning doesn't strike the same place twice? Well, I guess technically it wasn't the same spot, but they definitely had multiple moments of contact or incident. Because that was definitely a second look there as it got wild out there on the racetrack as we're... Don't tell me we're under caution while we were dissecting what happened between Whitehead and Cash.
That sucks, man. You guys were just slamming right along. I was just following behind you guys.
Oh, come on, let's not do this again, please. Please, thank you. I got worried there for a moment. We're back now to the live side of things. As Dakota Camper has now once again got... What happened to the three? Three not currently being shown on the racetrack of Radke. Okay, there's a developing situation there, so we send it back up to the front. Dakota Camper now leads. Was able to get the lead back from Radke over Kevin Coleman now, who's going to take over that second place position. So Chevrolet runs 1-2. Then you have Austin Cooper in the Dark Horse Mustang currently coming down pit road. This should be his money stop with just 50 laps remaining in competition. Look for a clean entrance here. Get it stopped in the box. Oh, he just gets that car wound up in time. See what the call is here for the 12. Oh, he is going to have to back it up. That's going to cost him precious amounts of time. Does this pit crew have mankinis on? Oh, my God. What in the world is going on tonight? First, my stream gets hijacked and his... You know what, Cooper? Thanks. I needed that. Y'all got some problems, man. Because now we're officially under caution. And why not? It's just been a crazy roller coaster of a night. Well, I guess James took it to the mountains of Busch Beer. Let's find out what went wrong. So now we're under caution here once again. That's going to be Mr. In and Out and roll playback. You know what? Let's send it up to the eye in the sky here. Go to the chopper. Everything looks well and fine there. Starts bringing the car down to the bottom.
46 going high.
Oh, the back end starts to step out on him. He overcorrects it or corrects it. Then he loses it again. The back steps out. He's going into full-blown drift mode here. Tries to save it. Currently saving it. Got it locked down. Does he make concrete with the... No, he doesn't. Okay, so technically timing and scoring, counting that as a crash because of the drastic change in mile an hour, and he comes to a complete stop, but I don't believe anyone peppers him. And I believe Busch is going to jump to the pits after that, and he does. So a single car incident out there on the racetrack. The back of the 11 just stepped out on him as he was trying to turn the car down to the bottom of the racetrack. No other race competitors involved, but that is going to bring out the caution. There we go. Caution being displayed over Charlotte Motor Speedway. Still trying to figure out what happened to Radke, as he's being scored in that 7th place position, but multiple laps down now. While we're under caution here, just digging back through the black box. Clearly something had to have gone wrong. There's Whitehead crashing. There's the battle for the lead. Not sure what happened to Jeffrey Radke, but that is going to be a crippling blow for him, as they were putting on quite a show at the front of this thing. And Radke is going to retire from this race, as they were having just an all-out slugfest between the two of them. Currently under caution is it's Dakota Camper leading over Kevin Coleman, Dalton McKinney, Austin Cooper, and Weston Vanderklook. That's your top 5. We're going to step away, pay some bills, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Redline Racing Network. Race fans, welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway as the SSIL presents the Xfinity Reaper Series. Matt Metler with you up here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth as always, and it has been just a wild and crazy night, just to say the least. We've had it all. We've had streams getting hijacked, my own network getting hijacked, someone taking credit for it in the chat, and we've had some absolutely bizarre and wild, well, we'll just say things unfold on the racetrack to boot as well. As Kevin Coleman now leads over Dakota Camper, Dalton McKinney, Western Vanderklook, Austin Cooper. That's your top five as they run right now. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us here live on Redline Racing Network. Let's go ahead and put the graphics back up on screen for everyone at home. Joining us along for the ride tonight here in primetime. Tell you what, Dakota Camper's got a really good Camaro tonight. He has either been leading or well inside the top three. Furthest back I think I've seen him all night is at third place position. But here comes Mr. Whip It Up himself in the 46. As he actually started from the pole tonight, slid back a couple spots. And he has been clawing his way forward and just chipping away at it. That 46 Chevrolet gets better as we go. So we now work lap 167 of the scheduled 200 here tonight. Oh, he's going to get a piece of the fence. That's the last thing we need to invoke right now is the broadcaster's curse tonight. Let's not turn that switch on. But Dalton McKinney having a great run as he's trying to chase down Dakota Camper and Kevin Coleman, who now takes over the lead. If you're a fan of Jeffrey Radke, before the last caution sequence, we were covering a incident on the racetrack under replay conditions, and we just completely lost touch with Jeffrey Radke as he was battling for the lead. Now being scored almost 20 laps down. Nothing showed in timing and scoring. Don't having a clue as we have another battle for the lead here. What happened to Radke as they're looking to spice it back up at the front of this thing. Camper is going to send it on the bottom. You see the 84 lift there. Didn't try to contest that. Perhaps he's on a little bit of a different strategy. Understands, hey, I still have roughly 30 laps to run. And in fact, he's got quite an icon on top of the pit box. Eddie Baker taking over crew chief in duty. As he's in the ear of that driver, and you know he's going to have some influence on how Coleman races or puts this last stint together of this race. And in fact, going to take a peek here in the Discord, see if we can get in touch with Coleman, or excuse me, with Eddie Baker. Eddie Baker, Matt up in the booth. You got a copy there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
So, hey, thanks for joining us here on the broadcast quickly. Don't want to take too much of your time. So you're on top of the box. You're crew chiefing and spotting for Kevin Coleman. You got your driver out in front, or excuse me, was out in front. The two was able to get by it, but he's kind of saving what you got right now for the end of this thing. What's the strategy?
Well, we were able to run a set of tires through the last bit of stage 1 and all of stage 2, so we got a full set of tires sitting in the box. I was kind of hoping we were going to get a caution with about 30 or 20 laps to go, and everybody else I've been watching used all their tires, so that was the initial strategy, but then everybody started bailing out of the lobby, so unlikely we're going to get a caution now, but I had Kevin kind of back it down a little bit because I'm watching the 46, and he's probably going to win this because he's really good at saving tires, so trying not to burn it up, battling the two.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate all the great insight and feedback, especially on the strategy side of things. I'll let you get back to work, but hey, he's got a darn good driver on top of the box. You certainly know how to win races here. Best of luck to you the rest of the way, and who knows, we might be seeing you in victory lane when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. I'll be in the car next week at Road America too, so I'll be in the cockpit and hopefully putting on a good show next week.
That's right. I know you love the road racing side of things, and I look forward to seeing you out there in competition next week, Eddie. Best of luck rest of the way to you.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll put you back in the top 3. Want to thank Crew Chief tonight for the 84 of Coleman joining us up here in the broadcast booth. That was Eddie Baker, and you heard it, folks. A little bit of strategy there going on right now. Told him to back it down a little bit, but if we get a late race caution, he's got a full set of Dr. Feelgoods in the pits, and you know Eddie is chomping at the bit to get an opportunity to put those on the race car. And we'll see if that opportunity presents itself. His driver continues to run in that P2 position. Again, everyone chasing Dakota Camper here with 26 laps to go. As he is now able to stretch it out about 1.2 seconds over Coleman. And you heard what Eddie Baker mentioned there. He's talking about this guy right here, the 46, Dalton McKinney. He said straight out, point blank, this guy knows how to save those Goodyear Eagles, but he's also either getting in the fence or awful close to the fence. Whew. That was certainly spicy moment there, for me anyhow, in the broadcast booth. Didn't seem to faze McKinney in the slightest, though, as he continues to run again about 1.2 seconds back. Let's check the speeds here. Last time at the line, McKinney is faster, a 31.73. The Coleman's 31.87, but the fastest car on the racetrack at 31.64. Dakota Camper, is he still pulling away here, and the laps continue to wind down. Curious about pit strategy here. Go ahead and throw that graphic up on the main screen for you guys. Going to be in that bottom right-hand corner. You can see most of your leaders, well, your top 2, 26 laps on these tires. McKinney has the freshest shoes inside the top 4. Or excuse me, he has the oldest shoes inside of the top 4, as he now has put 31 laps on that set of tires he's currently on right now. But you can see very balanced throughout most of these drivers. And that was indicative. We've had some crazy cautions here tonight, just some absolutely wild incidents. Believe me, we've had our hands full here on the broadcast side of things. As well, let's just say never. Just when you think you've seen it all, no, you haven't. Just glad we have permissions back, and going to go back and see what we can do to prevent that from happening in the future, because that was certainly a first. Go ahead and clear that graphic out now. Just 20 laps remain for Kevin Coleman. Currently runs second. And the 46 of McKinney is starting really to chew into that lead. In fact, he is there. Let's go on board with the 46 as he continues to stalk his prey. Threat level Midnight Motorsports has increased the threat level inside the 84 to, oh crap, It's about to get real. Throw a Popeye's biscuit in there. Don't choke on it, Lily Peters, if you're watching. She knows what I'm talking about. McKinney's going to send it in on the high side, or at least thought about it. He's going to mirror his line coming off the 3 and 4 complex here. Let's see what McKinney decides to pick. Does he go to the bottom? Does he go to the top? He's going to send it in up high. I mean, how many times have we said catching them is one thing, passing them is another? He should get a run here down the backstretch, and he does. The 84 is going to try to probably come up here and block that run. He does not. He stays committed to the bottom. Oh, but McKinney got loose there. Picked up his arrow wash. Oh, almost gets into the wall, gets loose off a 4. You know, and that's the dirty air and how it affects the balance of these race cars. Now the 84 is going to go up the block and to try to make the 46 pass him on the low side of the racetrack. And I'm not sure how comfortable McKinney is on the bottom. He's been doing all his damage on the high side. We're about to find out. He's going to send it in on the bottom. Is it a possible slide job? Oh, they're side by side. It's a John Ford special coming off the corner. Coleman able to maintain that second place position. But he's got a fired up gerbil on the high side on the hamster wheel. He's going to reload. He's going to send it in again. The 84 gets an absolutely terrific run on the bottom that time. The 46 not going to have as big as a run. I don't know if he can set him up or try to take the spot here coming into 1, but he got the momentum, a little bit of draft. He's going to try to thread it on the high side. Barely millimeters off the wall, and we're going to drag race down the backstretch again. Whip it up, is going to tear it up and take this position. Check the box, McKinney. Now owns P2. Coleman slides back to 3rd. Somebody better put Dakota Camper on notice that 46 is coming. Actually, he got the notice, and he just turned, oh my God, did he just turn up the lap time. He just ran a 31.79. McKinney was faster, but Camper, even though he has over a 4-second advantage, decides he's going to turn the wick back up. And last time by, again, once again, a 31.80 to a 32.05. Tell you what, Vanderkloek's turning some really good lap times right now with 32.08. He's basically mirroring McKinney. The problem is he's got a long way to go. He is going to run out of time. In the quad lock Chevrolet. But nonetheless, great performance as he's up 13 positions. Biggest mover of the race. What a run for the newcomer here in the 97. And again, folks, this is not the Hawkta 500. This is leftover remnants from what happened earlier in the broadcast. It's not me being funny, anything like that. Someone was being funny, but there's Jared Hayes, who currently owns that 6th place position. Ooh, don't do that, guys. Let's not throw a caution out here. You want to make Dakota Camper hotter than a Cleveland steamer. Watch that yellow flag come out. He will absolutely go blitzkrieg. Dakota just wants to see these laps count down. He wants to maintain that advantage, and he continues to grow that advantage. I got to imagine he's driving that car at a pace he's comfortable with right now because, I mean, he has almost 6 seconds. He could back it down a lot. But apparently that Camaro is just vibing good with the racetrack right now. He's able to run those 31.87s with ease. Tick, 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 tick. The clock continues to count down. Again, 200 laps the scheduled distance tonight here in the heart of NASCAR country from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Nine laps remaining. We're going to run through the field here one final time. Dakota Campers, your leader in that first place position. Dalton McKinney recently took over second, and that's where he sits right now, about 6.5 seconds back off the lead pace. Kevin Coleman with Eddie Baker up on top of the box. That duo doing a fantastic job as they own the third and final podium position. Weston Vanderkloot, biggest mover of the race, resides in fourth, while Chummy Miller, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, that's what SDK is indicating for the name. Users can modify that, but we're going to go with Chummy for right now. I believe this is his first appearance tonight in competition. For all intents and purposes, has a top five. Not a bad debut as he runs in fifth. Jared Hayes, currently in that sixth place position. So he's trying to catch the Viagra man up the road. Brandon Kelly, beautiful paint scheme on that 9 ride tonight. He's in seventh, up 6 positions. And Cooper, the Austin version, in eighth. He had a spectacular crash earlier. James Bush, well, he went for the mountains. All these drivers are now going to be retired from competition, and that's going to be James Bush, Jeffrey Radke, Christopher Cash, Charles Whitehead, Samuel Lawson, Brandon Cooper, Tom Freitas, Johnny Williams, and another car that had a spectacular, violent impact with the wall. Bryson Coolwell rounds out that 17th place position. We now send it back to the point. Just 5 laps remaining as they're on their handshake lap. Again, I want to take this time to thank Black Magic, our official strategic design and wrap partner here on Redline Racing Network. Get out of the static. Go see the guys at Black Magic. They'll hook up your ride, put some vibe in your life. And remember, it's good for 2/10 out there on the racetrack. Better yet, tell them the competitors at the Reaper Xfinity Series told you guys to go see them. They will hook you up with 100% authentic, custom, all OG design, making your dreams come to life. That is the one and only Black Magic. Camper. You know, it's funny. I shouldn't say it's funny, but his last name's Camper, but he's done anything but camped in one spot. He has been on the attack all night tonight. You know, he didn't start for this thing from the pole. He started back there in that 5th place position, and he's had to work for this. I mean, he's been in some close, intense battles all night. Different challengers, of course. I was really hoping that Radke Camper battle would have got a chance to really unfold. But unfortunately, that came to an end. He had to go up against Dalton McKinney, Kevin Coleman. And this man has just had a rocket ship. I know it says the Gathering Place as a primary sponsor on that Chevrolet. Well, he's going to have everyone gathered in Victory Lane here. Final lap in the air, one time around this 1.5 mile to go for Dakota Camper. He's going to send it in on the bottom, where he's basically been glued all race long through the turns 1 and 2 complex. He's going to sail it for the final time down the backstretch. As Dakota Camper looks to cap off another one in prime time in the Reaper Series, coming off of turn 4 for the final time. He sees Barney with the flag stamp, checkered flag in the air. And Camper's going to cop the competition here once again as he's going to take the dub. Dalton McKinney, Mr. Whip It Up, is going to whip it good to P2. Kevin Coleman, with the help of Eddie Baker, is going to come home with a strong third-place finish. Weston Vanderklook in the 97, biggest mover of the race in fourth, and Chummy. Chummy's at full salute in his debut performance. Comes home in that fifth place position. It was definitely Miller time in the Viagra car. What a debut run for the 6. Send it back to Dakota Camper. Here he goes, burning the house down right on cue. Start-finish line is going to be a smoke show once again as the Virginia man had the plan. And again, once again, it's not the Hawk 205 Hyundai. I don't know if he spit on that car before he went out there and raced or not, but regardless of the fact, that thing was an absolute missile. This Dakota Camper is going to do it again. Back we got Dalton McKinney, our second place driver. There's Dakota. Just waiting on Kevin Coleman. While we do that right now, let's go ahead and pull up our third place finisher into the broadcast booth. Dalton McKinney, Matt up the top. You got a copy, bud. Try this again here one more time. Kevin Coleman, Matt up in the booth. You got a copy there, bud. Well, hey, man, congratulations first and foremost on a third place finish. Walk me through your race tonight, and I guess you had some extra arsenal on top of the box in the form of Eddie Baker. How big of a factor did he have in tonight's podium finish?
But, Eddie did all he could for me, and P3 is the best I could get. Well,
hey, man, having Eddie on the box anytime, always a good night or a good day. And you mentioned you were destroying the right front. What, is this just the combination of the racetrack and how you like in your style of driving as a driver? Or is it just really easy to overdrive this race car out there that you have to be conscientious of?
Yeah, it was really easy to overdrive it, and I'm really famous for that. So Eddie was trying his best to slow me down, but I just couldn't do it. So.
Well, hey, that sounds like a tandem in real life, right? You're going out there trying to do your job being a race car driver, and you got the guy in the box telling you to put the brakes on it, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Dakota was super fast. I couldn't keep up with him. Same with whoever was in the 3 car that dropped out early. Those guys were really fast. But I was looking for a top 5 and hoping that something would fall my way for getting in the top 3. I actually had an extra set of tires, so another caution would have really helped. But when everybody started dropping out of the race, it was only 3 of us on the lead lap. I kind of figured, oh well, I'll just see what I can do for pass these guys in the front row, and if it's not, the worst I'll do is P3. So it's all good. A lot of fun. Long race.
You actually stole the words out of my mouth. I actually had a chance to interview Eddie, and he was chomping at the bit to get the opportunity to put those extra tires, that extra set you guys saved on the race car. It's just unfortunate it didn't work that way. But before we cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 84, bud?
I got to help or give a big shout out to Eddie for sticking through me the whole race and doing the best driving tips that he could give me. And Star Hill Brewery helped me out. And I love these cars. It's so much fun, and I have a blast driving in this series. So I'm happy to do it.
Well, hey, man, congratulations on a podium finish once again. And Kevin Coleman, always a showman here in the SSIL Presents Reaper Xfinity Series, has some great help up top. Shout out to Eddie Baker, crew chief for him tonight. That is the one and only Kevin Coleman. Thanks for joining us up top, man.
You got it. Thank you.
Tell you, man, that guy always finds a way to put himself in contention. If not win, always a podium, almost always a shoe, and can't say enough good things about the 84 Kevin Coleman as he comes home with a great third place finish here tonight. Next up, P2. Dalton McKinney, Matt up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, hey, man, you were whipping it up out there. How about you, bud?
Good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Wish teammate could have stayed in a little bit longer. He had some connection issues. I think he had a pretty good piece for him, and I think he may have been the only one that had anything for Dakota, but I had fun. I felt like I finished better than I should have due to a lot of guys dropping out, but I'll take it.
You know, you mentioned your teammate there. I was actually breaking down a replay, and it's on the racetrack, and I went back to the front, and then your teammate was gone. Don't know what happened, but those two guys were putting on a show, so you're right. Unfortunate that we lost your teammate, but hey, man, you were able to capitalize, put together another great run, and you come home here with the second place finish. I mean, obviously you have some consistency, you have some momentum built up in your corner. You know, what can you do with that moving forward through the series and then getting into the playoffs?
Yeah, next week, I was actually just talking to Dakota in the chat. I struggle at road courses, so just try to survive through that. I enjoy the mile and a halves. I've been real busy lately through the summer stretch, so I don't get to practice as much as I'm accustomed to. So hopefully I can find some time to get some practice laps in as we get a little bit closer to the playoffs and throughout the playoffs, and see if we can do something in this league.
Well, hey, man, we certainly appreciate you being here. You're always fun to watch out there on the racetrack, and certainly a good ambassador for the series, man. I appreciate you being in here. And I know you said road courses may not be your thing, but I'll tell you what, man, if I had $1 for every time someone told me the week before an interview a road course wasn't their thing, and then they finished in the podium, I'd probably be able to stop doing this.
Well, I don't know. I hope, there's always a chance. We know car counts are down there, and if I can get in some practice, I've come to enjoy road courses more the past year or so than ever before. So there's a chance, if I could get a podium, I would be ecstatic. So yeah, that would be really cool.
Hey, man, I appreciate your time up here in the booth as always. Before we cut you loose, man, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done?
Yeah, everyone at Threat Level Midnight Motorsports. A fun race with all them guys. My painter, Johnny Williams. I think he had some issues again tonight, and he always has me looking real sharp in every league I run. So check out Johnny Williams if you're looking for a paint. And then my girlfriend for letting me run, and my cousin, Little Joe. He watches a lot of these, and just everyone that puts on the league, and you for doing this broadcast. We all really appreciate it.
Hey, well, I certainly appreciate that. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Threat Level Rocket himself once again. Dalton McKinney puts together another masterful performance, comes home just a little bit short, and look for him to do better than what he expects on the road course next week. I'm going to call that right now. We appreciate your time up here in the booth as always, my friend.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that means we got one person left to talk to, and he tore up this 1.5 mile over tonight, had an absolute missile underneath him. Dakota Camper, Matt up top, you got a copy, bud. I think Dakota is muted. Try this again one more time. Dakota, Matt up top, you got a copy there, bud.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. Well, hey, another race, and here we are again. I mean, that Camaro was an absolute monster tonight. Didn't matter if it had 2 laps on your tires or 40. That car looked absolutely perfectly balanced. You could put it anywhere you wanted to on the racetrack. It had absolutely insane long game speed. How are you able to put these consistent dominating performances together on a weekly basis, man?
Yeah, these two tracks are two tracks that I really enjoy. Charlotte's my favorite track. I really worked on getting the long run down on most of these tracks, a mile and a half mostly. But Charlotte, I just love Charlotte, arcing it in there, tapping the brakes and making it turn in, and that really just saves the tires in the long run to get just that little bit of brake on corner entry, and you can really drive off on exit. But that 3-car, Jeffrey, he had me beat on the long run. I hated to see his internet or whatever crash out because it got the intensity ratcheted up, and I was sweating really bad trying to stay in front of him. That was a good race.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was covering that battle, and it seemed like it was going to be another thriller between you and Radke. We had some incidences that happened on the racetrack, went to cover that, and I came back, and he was gone. So I didn't know what happened to him. Obviously, for the folks at home, everyone probably wanted to see you guys duke it out. But, it's in simulation here. One of the things we face, connection problems. But, hey, man, once again, the best car won this race tonight. You were absolutely dominant out there. Who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done?
Yeah, I want to thank the big man upstairs for getting me in a position where I'm able to do this, and it takes money to do this, so being able to have my health and good job to do this is great. And the Gathering Place Church, anybody wants to look for a church on Sunday mornings, the Gathering Place Live on YouTube and the Gathering Place Church on Facebook. Check us out there. And my parents tune in. I stream on Twitch, and my parents tune in every week to watch, so big props to them. My mom thinks she's my crew chief, so they get a little credit for the win, I guess.
Well, all you got to do now is talk her into getting the Discord.
That's right. We need her to get in here and tell me, when to pit, all that stuff.
Well, hey, man, hope to see your mom on top of the box for you at one of these races. I think that'd be really cool. Love the opportunity to speak with her if we do get her in here. And ladies and gentlemen, looking for a new church to call home, make sure you go ahead, check them out on their website, live every Sunday morning as well. And once again, that is the driver of the two. Your winner tonight from Charlotte, the one and only Dakota Camper. Thanks for joining us up here in the booth, bud. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Look forward to going back and watching this one. Y'all have a good one.
Oh, just a heads up. We had some crazy shenanigans to start this off. The stream got hijacked. I had no control, and they were absolutely chatting as me, but it wasn't me that actually claimed ownership for the hijack to start this thing off. I had no control over everything. The minute I got something back, it was gone. And then when they left their call sign in the chat, I quickly shut things down. It was a mad panic, but we ended up all right. So there's a new broadcast link. So make sure you get the updated one that I put in the general chat, bud.
All right, well, check that out. Sounds fun.
Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Dakota Camper. He is your winner here from Charlotte in the heart of NASCAR country, the good state of North Carolina. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us live here on Redline Racing Network and riding through the storm of chaos with us on the network side and the racetrack side of things. Only one thing left to do here this evening, folks, and that is to close this broadcast out. And like all good things come to an end, so do we have to stop this broadcast until next week in primetime. And as the late, great Tony Trapasso used to say, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor. Don't play in traffic. And we'll see you next time right here on Redline Racing Network.